morning and welcome to Broadcast in Bed with your host, Brendan Getchis. Our first story is in international news as a verbal showdown is being thrown down in South America, with Peru and Venezuela trading insults over the week. On Tuesday, Peru recalled their ambassador to Venezuela after Venezuelan Foreign Minister Delcy Rodriguez referred to Peru's president as a good dog who wags its tail for the American empire and asks for an intervention in Venezuela. He's alone, going around like a crazy man, with no one paying attention. Now that was in response to Peru's president, Pablo Kuczynski, who made remarks during a weekend trip to the United States, saying Washington did not invest much time in Latin America, as it wasn't a problem. Like a well-behaved dog, except for Venezuela, which was a big problem. President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela took this bark personally and called for an apology over the weekend. However, Peru let it go to voicemail. And this is not the first time Pablo has pointed out Venezuelan inadequacies. In September of 2016, he addressed the United Nations General Assembly over his concern of the economic crisis in Venezuela, which was faced with shortfalls in food and medicine for its citizens due to the lowering price of oil. In this dog-eat-dog world, Peru is a young pup growing economically at 6.3% a year, growling at the old and sick Venezuela, which is set to contract at almost 10% in 2017. Figures according to the International Monetary Fund. In research, I found both countries have a national dog. So here are some adorable dog pictures. In national news, it seems Republicans heard citizens' pleas for a plan on health care, and they responded, releasing Republicare. And I'll be breaking this development down in 3 big points. First, I do recommend reading it. Honestly, it's only 66 pages long, which is less than most novels you read in high school. And unlike some of those novels, it could be a factor for the rest of your life. Maybe literally determining how long the rest of that life is. Now, they've had 6 years to come up with an alternative since the Affordable Care Act was passed. You know what also takes 6 years? Getting a PhD. And for those, you typically have to write a dissertation, which requires at least 40 to 80 pages just to summarize your idea. Your actual idea takes 100 to 40 pages. The GOP's entire idea is 66 pages. This wouldn't even qualify you to be a doctor. In anything. Number 2. 6 out of the 66 pages are dedicated to regulating how a winner of a lottery worth $90,000 or more cannot be eligible for Medicare. Because Powerball and Mega Millions are the largest issues facing healthcare today. Number 3. The alternative to the individual mandate. Page 63, section 2711. Summarized, if you have no insurance for more than 63 days in any 12-month period, you'll pay a penalty of 30% on premiums for the next 12 months you are buying insurance. This sounds good, but then you have to remember that insurance only exists based on someone paying for it while not using it. Meaning, to be viable, more healthy need to be buying insurance to offset the cost of unhealthy people using it. The individual mandate fixes this problem by requiring people to purchase insurance, or increasingly taxing them as they did not. Thus, even if you didn't buy insurance, we are getting money from you. Republicans and Republicare don't solve the problem of healthy people not buying insurance, because there's nothing forcing them to need it until they are sick and suddenly cost more than the 30% hike in premiums. For example, if you live in the Midwest and you don't have earthquake insurance, but you suddenly get an alert that in a week you're about to be hit by a 9.6 on the Richter scale, you might buy some. In health terms, that's finding out you have a pre-existing condition. Now, pre-existing conditions used to be able to be denied, along with the person who had it, even when they had no choice in what their genetics are. Gee, thanks, Dad. Now pre-existing conditions are accepted and cost more. That means, once again, we need more healthy people buying insurance. Republicare doesn't fix the problem that people won't buy insurance until they're about to be hit by an earthquake. This is just the surface, as the GOP only has enough votes to work through budget reconciliation, editing the parts of the ACA which are federally funded. The idea, according to Paul Ryan in an interview, is to use 3 small bills to trim until the ACA is fixed. Paul Ryan admits that if the full plan were to be released right now, it would be filibustered. Forcing the question, then why can't you write something better? In business news, it's officially been 1 week since Snap Incorporated, most famous for the mobile app Snapchat, went public. With a closing of $22.71 on Thursday, it's now leveling above its $17 opening price. Many were at first wary of purchasing on release day after the very quick drop-off when Facebook went public in 2012. However, Snapchat is showing it's for more than just sending nude pictures. Positives are estimates that users spend 30 minutes a day on the application. New partnerships between Snap and both news and entertainment organizations to increase their readership, and finally, an easy way to send dick pics. Negatives include the fad nature of most apps, where user bases can quickly jump from one to the newest thing. Snap Incorporated is also being criticized as less than a fully transparent corporation. Also, receiving lots of dick pics. The day after going public, the Security and Exchange Commission announced an investigation into Snap Incorporated. So that's like buying a new car, getting home, and later looking out your window to see the FBI breaking in. It's not clear how Snap will expand going forward, but for now, the good opening has put a rose-colored filter on it. Next, in popular news, a commercial from Emergen-C is terrifying. I turned on a YouTube video and then came back 5 seconds later for this guy to be coming straight at me. His eyes don't move. Like a vampire or something. Now the ad doesn't get much better when you watch it from the beginning, so here you go.
Emerge restored, fortified, replenished. Emerge every day with Emergen-C, packed with B vitamins, antioxidants, electrolytes, plus more vitamin C than 10 oranges. Why not feel this good every day? Emergen-C.
Okay, let's do a breakdown on this thing. It's coming from the fog! Oh, I get it. They must be from that movie with the teleporting, it's a modern classic. Jumper. But where's Samuel L. Jackson? Oh, there he is! That teleporting power must be dangerous for him. Lots of places right now you don't want to be a black guy and openly Democrat. This girl looks like she was thrown out of a Michael Bay explosion. I get it, this is supposed to be for vitamin powder, but do I get the superpowers if I drink it or snort it? Now I'm convinced this guy lived in Stephen King's The Mist. Okay, I get the whole play on words with emergency and emerge, But that's the same word usually used for cicadas, not my cold. And I don't want to be sick in bed, rip open a packet, and that guy shows up in my living room. Remember, kids, be safe. Use ad blockers. You don't know when emergency is coming for you. And that's all of our news for today. Thank you so very much for joining us. And we'll be back again next week. Remember, don't start your day on snooze. Start it with what's new. Broadcast in Bed. With your host, Brendan Getchis. Bye-bye.